So welcome everybody to Multidimensional Healing Summer Solstice. And this is a special, most auspicious day where we're meeting in this sacred space of grace. So just take a moment. Feel this energy around you. Let go of any idea of what it should be, of what it could be. We're in a sacred space between worlds. Inviting in your guides, or inviting in divine mothers, Shakti energy, master healers, Shiva energy. So just sense this group field around you. Let it percolate. Could feel tingly, just could feel safe. To me, it feels just like home. It's like home. And so in these groups, we always invite your guides to come into your system to work with you. And typically it's a divine deity that you're aligned with. And so we're going to invite them to come in through your crown, into your heart, on the count of 3, 2, 1. There we go. A lot of divine mother energy here. Master healer, it's Merlin of magical transformation, Christ consciousness. Yep. There's the summer solstice angels. Angels love working with humans. Welcome, Mother Earth. Welcome. Welcome, welcome. And so the first thing I'm going to do is create a sound vibration that links us all together. And I'm just generally going to use a very simple mantra of Om, the sound of divine. I'm going to be chanting it 3 times. And you can do that with me. And what we're going to do is take a deep breath in, and on the out breath, say the word Om, the entire out breath. And if you're just listening in, allow this sound vibration to move in, around, and through you and into your cells. So the sound of the divine actually makes them smile. You ready to go? All right, let's take the first deep breath in. And on the out breath, the sound of Om. Second breath in. And the third breath in. Just notice that how that's contributed to the silence in the group field, or the silence of the energy around you. We have some people still signing in. I'm inviting you to turn off your camera during this session so that it isn't included in the group field. Thank you, Sheila, or Shirla, I'm sorry. And for some of you who are new and I've never worked with before, I'm going to be creating an updated high frequency grounding cord. And you may notice it's just a little easier to ground. For those of you who already have it, just breathe down into your grounding cord into the earth. For those of you who are new, I'm creating an updating structures for an updated grounding cord. There we go. And so, inviting you again to breathe down through the chair, the floor, the bed, couch you're sitting on, the sub basement into the top layers of the earth, all the way through the geological layers, the shale, the water tables, the granite, into the molten core, where we're going to connect with the heart of Gaia. To me, she feels like a crystalline ball, or it could be just a warm fire or a hearth, or even just a heart. Plug into her like an umbilical cord plugs into Mother, and we're going to receive her energy. She's asking you right now if you want a blessing. All you have to do is say yes. Here we go. The blessing is really a prayer to be more interconnected to the earth within you. And that's what we're going to do for the next couple of minutes. We're going to take some time to breathe with the earth. But first, I want you just to feel that connection, the earth's presence. You're plugged into her heart, into the center of the earth, grounding, anchored. It's hard to stay grounded and anchored because we're grounding down through our karma, through the karma of the earth, which can feel really uncomfortable. So if this process is a little uncomfortable, that means you're doing it right. If it's easy, maybe you've done this before. So breathing down into earth, allowing earth to breathe back into you. And I want to shift it a little bit. As you're breathing back into you, allow it to go up your chakras, into your central core, your heart, into your crown, flowing up and around and through you. Creating a beautiful toroidal field. You're connected with the earth is connected with you through your breath. And I want to shift it just a little bit. So you're breathing not just with earth, but breathing as earth. What does that mean exactly? It's hard to explain. It's like every cell of your body is that breath. So feeling yourself deeply connected, and with every breath, expanding your being more deeply into the earth, and the earth into you. This creates a type of synergistic flow. Connect to your essence, original essence, in this modern day society where we live in concrete and been so disconnected and distracted by the internet, which is ironic. It's what we're using to connect here. So this is a remembering your origins. Energy penetrating into the cells, into the atoms, with your chi, with the prana, with the breath. So gently breathing into the earth, and as earth, allowing earth to breathe you. There's no right or wrong doing this. It's just an experience. Breathing with the earth, in whatever way feels natural to you. And on this summer solstice, what I'm going to do is help you by recalibrating your chakras to be more connected to the earth, to yourself as the earth. Starting down with the subroot first chakra, which is a foot beneath your feet. And I generally clear, it's like we're clearing the pipes, like we're aerating or opening the drain, which then allows your chakras to be more free-flowing, more free to connect, more free to remember its connection. And in the subroot first chakra, there's a little bit of fear. Now focusing on the root chakra, releasing some fear here and recalibrating it, reminding it of its still point, of its availability to the energy that it allows into your body today and every day. Mother Earth helping with this attunement, so allowing the root chakra just to welcome this gift. It's like the light of the sun on the summer solstice, opening up more freedom and space and light for your root chakra, which has a tendency not to be so light-filled. There we go. Your root chakra remembering now, like a long lost friend. Now focusing on the sacral chakra. Sacral chakra loves emotions. And emotions are really a great tool as indicators of what's going on. Today, the sun on this solstice invites you to come out and play. So it's saying to the sacral chakra, let's empty any emotional charge in there. There we go. And come out of your shell. Breathing that sunlight into the sacral chakra. There we go. Now focusing up the solar plexus, your third chakra. Solar plexus very much at home. Summer solstice energies. Which is the northern hemisphere. Of course, it's winter solstice in the southern hemisphere. Clearing anything that isn't sunlight. In the third chakra, there's a little bit of fear, a little bit of trepidation, resistance, control. Just letting it go. So much help from Mother Earth, so much help from wonderful divine consciousness guides. And the question for your third chakra is, hey, what is ready here to break on through? Seasons change, cycles change. Days like today are reminders of that our bodies too have cycles. And in the power center of your third chakra, it's inviting you to find out what is ready to step up into its power here. So recalibrating it. There we go, by clearing out what isn't necessary. A little bit of anger there, a little bit of frustration. There we go. I'm focusing on your heart chakra. Oh, the beautiful heart chakra. Letting all the sunlight in, transform anything that a heart is ready to get rid of. Got help here from Mother Earth, from the summer solstice angels, from the divine mothers. Use this light to just really get whatever is off your chest. It's easy to say just let it go, but here you have help. We can just bring our awareness into whatever is just ready. Letting in the sun rays is just like letting in light to a dark room. Both illuminates what's in there, you can see, but it also shows the way. Sun rays are kind of like a cleansing, burning fire. It turns everything bright and shiny. Breathing into the throat chakra. There's some pent up energy in the throat chakra, a lot of frustration, all the times maybe that things we couldn't swallow, or how we didn't use our voice in the right way. But here it's inviting your voice to declare within you what is ready, to become more attuned to who you are in this moment. There's an incredible, immense solar power. There's so much sunlight energy, earth energy, grounding. The two are combining to be this creative presence. So let out those pent-up screams, energetic block. Create the space and the freedom for sun really to, and the earth and the grounding to really help you be more present in your speech, in what you receive. Help you use your words wisely, beautifully. What a gift. I'm breathing into the brow chakra, the third eye, the entire skull. A little bit of clearing here, a little bit of confusion, like brain fog or mental fog or fatigue or even just chaos. I'm clearing the amygdala, opening up the pineal. Providing energy to the hypothalamus. Any type of the brain needs attention. Sacred geometry coming in. Some people call this light language. It's just energy. It's just the formations of energy. There we go. And finally coming into the crown, where the sun is just stimulating your crown chakra to open wide, to receive all this light and this love and this presence, so that the pineal gland can get more light into the brain, more connection to the biorhythms of the cycles, solstice energy to reset anything that needs to reset. Not just in the brain, we're going to invite this great toroidal cascade to breathe up and through and around, and again, cascading into all your chakras to transform them and how they work together, balancing the left and right side, lining any energetic bodies. There we go, a little bit more frustration just leaving. Creating this grounded flow sets the stage for the energy to be received in a more productive way. Structures in your chin nose, reinforcing any weak vital and fine lines. There we go. Wonderful. So just sense how you're feeling right now. More in tune with flow. Still breathing with earth, and as earth, allowing earth to breathe you. Do you feel the difference here? On my YouTube channel, this replay will be found there after tonight. There's another 25-minute session called the Earth Breath, which is a helpful guide and attunement. Become more embodied with your body as the earth. And just this little exercise as we recalibrated each of the chakras using the summer sun energies and the groundedness of the earth, the attunement of the earth, and your divine helpers. Is alone just enough for showing up today. There's more to come. Let's drop into this field of regulation. This is an energetic pool. It's like an ocean of energy. And this ocean of energy, like the surface, invites you to drop beneath. You know, when you're on the surface of life, like a boat, you're bobbing around. If storm comes, you're really thrown about with the waves. Here, we're inviting you to drop into the stillness, quiet, the 0 point energy, which looks at your system and says, what is out of balance? What is dysregulated? And there's some unhappiness in there. That's what Source is pointing at right now. Some sadness, unresolved, unhealed. And this place that is unresolved and unhealed, it's old conditioned consciousness that gets in the way of really being present, feeling alive, feeling vital. There we go. Sensing that it's in your hips, the pelvic girdle, the lower part of your kidneys and your sit bones, your pelvis. It's really the biggest bone in your body. It's allowing you to stand up, sit down, to walk, to balance. It's perfect the summer solstice day to be focusing on the pelvis. Ooh, there's some anger in there too. Ooh, right at the tailbone area. Tailbone is your rudder in life. And this day that represents a season's change, this rudder in life asks, what is off balance? There we go. So we're doing a lot of resetting, a lot of recalibrating. There's a general sense of dissatisfaction. Again, pointing to that rudder in life, like the question that seems to be asking your body is, why aren't things working the way they should be? And when they don't, the frustration, like you're banging your head against the wall. And we could put a lot of stories to that. But when we're working dimensionally, we're looking at the byproduct of the stories. And that byproduct of the story is this frustration, this dissatisfaction, or something isn't going right in life, or something isn't going right in your relationship to life, in your relationship to self, in your relationship to God, in your relationship to others. And there's a general unhappiness about that. There we go. Just let it go. You're in this vast ocean of healing, energetic waters filled with energy that just holds you, supports you. Again, pointing to the pelvis, the hips, the um, oh, I know there's a name for it. The groin area, the crease in your thighs. There we go. It's where your lymph nodes are. Oh, interesting. Any stagnation there? And a stagnation in your lymph nodes in the groin area, or your um, crease in your legs could just be representative again of something not flowing in your life. There we go. Again, regulation, the second phase. Just asking what is dysregulated, and it's pointing to a general dissatisfaction, a general either mental chatter or physical frustration or emotional stagnation, something that just isn't working for you. And isn't it worth pondering that that is really a core belief just as troubled? That our mind looks for things like that. And from my knowledge, that's conditioned consciousness that supports it as an issue, as an unresolved issue. Excuse me. There we go. There we go. Wonderful. It was a little uncomfortable for a while. There was, again, a lot of stagnant, pent up energy in your pelvic region, that groin area, that crease in your um, and, inner thighs, your legs, your sits, lymph nodes there. and a generalized discomfort, which is really a good sign, because this earth breath, this session seems to be asking what isn't embodied within you. And it's pointing to your physical body. There's some pent up energy in your pelvis, in your lymph nodes, in your groin area, in crease of your legs, lower intestines, perhaps. Representing a form of struggle, of disappointment, a block, a stagnation. There we go. Now source working to help clear it like water sifting through. You know how the old settlers used to have these screens. They'd bring it into the water, into the mud, and sift through. And so this feels like all this cleansing water coming in and sifting through the pelvic region, flushing out this disappointment, flushing out this frustration, flushing out the dissatisfaction, the blocks, the imbalances that you just prevent you from moving forward. Which is what the summer solstice is all about: renewal, new beginnings, restoration, cycles, change, being comfortable with change. This is inviting you to look at what's going on in your body that may not be comfortable with change. For women, there's a whole change of life thing that can be frustrating. But right now, the earth is going through its own change with climate change, of course, that is creating temperature fluctuations, fires, air pollution, water table changes, drought, all this seemingly desperate situations for people. I'm not going to get into the prognosis, but it's not looking good. All caused by human consumption and apathy. And so this interconnection with the earth, we start caring about the planet. And when we start caring about the planet, we treat it differently. We treat ourselves differently. We treat each other differently. So now gently shifting into phase 3. This is a phase we call embrace. Ooh, embrace asks, what is it within you that needs more love? It does two things. It illuminates those places, like turning on a light in a dark room, but it also brings in the exact frequency, the vibration that those places need to feel more comfortable, to be more accessible, to reveal any subterranean information, to let your awareness come into places where maybe there's hidden wounds, or in this case, hidden frustration. So embrace is just nurturing energy. So that cleansing water that came in as a metaphor before, this cleansing water is like pure love. Pure love to illuminate what isn't, especially those little specks of disappointment and frustration that maybe your life or your relationships or certain things aren't going the way you want them to be. And how the mind reacts, emotions react, how the body reacts. We can have a visceral knowledge, a knowing that is quite different than the body-mind sense of knowing. Body-mind can hold a lot of things out of our hidden awareness. There we go, there we go. So love coming in, especially into those tender, raw places that have simply forgotten how to love. When we first started, this would be the indications of that disappointment and dissatisfaction, the sadness. Just allow those vulnerable places to be held. There isn't anything to do here. There's no right or wrong. You're just relaxing and allowing, and letting the energy do the work to find out, to seek out, like little Pac-Man. Remember that game? Some of you are probably too young. Um, Little tiny angels, finding those hidden areas within you that are reluctant or resistant, or hiding because of guilt or shame, or just not wanting to be seen. Embrace is really good with any hidden woundedness. And creating a safe, sacred environment. Like a soft breeze coming in. Like the colors of a sunrise. Can't help but smile when you see a sunrise, right? The breaking of a new day. Here in the summer solstice, this is the longest day. We've got the summer angels, we've got the Nine Mothers, we've got Master Healers, Christ Consciousness, Mother Earth. We've got so much help here. And all you really need to do is just relax, open up. Let them create an environment for you, for those places that you probably didn't even know are reluctant to open. You know, like those closed buds of a flower. And these are the little pinpoint places of sadness that I was talking about earlier, the disappointment, the dissatisfaction, or maybe the frustration that things aren't going the way you wish they would. And that's the pelvis area. That's that core foundation within your system that helps you stand up, sit down, walk forward, balanced. So, on this summer solstice, another question to ponder is, what is off balance in your life? What is that frustration about? What are you banging up into that you wish were different? Let it go. Just give it right now. Just give it to the divine. Or just say, you got this. The pairing up. And for some of you, it's right there in your third chakra as well. That little bit of control that says, I know what I'm doing. That's what we tell ourselves, right? And I don't use the term God lightly, so I usually say source. You know, you want to know how to make source laugh, you know, you tell him how, or her, how things are going in your life. And source and God and angels, they know. It isn't about control. It isn't about what you want. It's about flowing with the way life is. And so that's the pelvis. That's what we're bumping into today in the summer solstice. What isn't going right with your life? Give it up. Just here, just now. Just give it up. And let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. Let's embrace. It's inviting you just to let go. Let the energies into those places and spaces that are reluctant to be seen, perhaps again because there's little pockets of resistance, shame or guilt, or subconscious places within your body. Now this next phase, every phase contributes to the next. We couldn't go forward without each one of us, each one of them. And this next phase is energizing. So when we recognize that we're dimensional beings, we're more than just this flesh body in this one lifetime. We're infinite, timeless, we're formless. All our issues are carried with us in the physical body. And that can be the cause of our weakness, of our depletion. And so to reach them, to access them, to remove them takes energy. So the first thing I'm going to do is just going to put in a whole bunch of structures of what's most needed. My favorite structure is something called GPS. GPS structure says, I know what you need, and goes right there. And I know how you need it, and it does that. Magic. I also work with something called bio-remanifesting, which is a biological remanifesting structure. And also something called Earthworks, EARTHWORX. It works more in the collective of your energy system. So it looks like what we're pointing at is that piece of dissatisfaction. So it's something within you that's created an imbalance because you're stuck, or you've hit a wall, or again, something isn't going right and it's causing a frustration. It might be a tiny frustration, but maybe your body thinks it's really big. Whatever it is, it's not allowing you to go forward, or it's disempowering you. So putting all kinds of structures in this piece of dissatisfaction. Yep, there it is. For some of you, this dissatisfaction is kind of menacing. It just said, I was happy hiding. Why are you dragging me out into the light? It's like that little piece of you that just simply likes to complain because it gets a reward for complaining. Part of my humor. Humor is a form of release. There we go. We also work with something called Devi alchemy, which is divine mother energy, goddess energy, full of Shakti. Full of Shakti. So coming into energetics, we're going to ask your system, first of all, foremost, what does it need right now for this session, for you? And so we're going to remanifest your system to optimize. What does it need? Oh, some of you, it's going right to that pelvis, right to that pelvis. Or maybe to the lymph nodes, or to the coccyx, your tailbone. Or it's just going to the energy pathways. Yep. So that piece of dissatisfaction, even though it's in way in the back in the recesses of your mind, or it's that little nagging voice that constantly looks for something that's wrong or complain or keeps you slightly off balance, is depleting in some way. The source, working with your personal guide, optimizing your system. So it's clearing anything that may be depleting. It's energizing any weakness, bringing up energies that may be too depleted. It's harmonizing if your system seems over or understimulating. And I'm going to be here for the next 5-6 minutes or so. Again, each one of these phases works together so that when we do get to that piece of dissatisfaction, we can get deeper. We can get to its roots. And that is the transformational aspect of this. Because that is something that's typically hiding, that you're not aware of. You haven't experienced our groups. That's exactly what we do every week. We meet to explore the deep issues. We meet to energize the body, typically following a theme, which I never know what it is until Source shows me month to month. This month, we're working on the nervous system. Next month, we're looking at that place in the heart, that hidden burden that we all have. It's transformational work. It's not for everybody. But if you're ready, if you're willing to show up for yourself, boy, does the divine show up for you. And often in miraculous ways. Yeah, it can be uncomfortable. But that's what we signed up for. But the reward is so much space and freedom. Finally accessing that love, finally getting those reasons life is the way it is, reacting less, responding more, being more still, feeling that interconnected connection to all of life. Those are the rewards for doing inner work. So we're still energizing your system. Ooh. For those of you who are exhausted, this is perfect. If you go to listen to this replay, there's a couple of sessions on there. I think one is called Overwhelm, that really helps to rebuild the energy system. And those recordings are alive with energy. All you just have to do is tune in. They're connected to this group field. That's why I asked for your name so I could connect you to this group field. But anyone who listens to the replay is automatically brought into the group field, even if you weren't a part of the original one. Whoa. Still working, energizing. Yeah, there's like a big drain. Again, it's not like a hamster wheel, but it's like this repetitive thing. It's not necessarily mental, emotional, it's just this frustrating thing in your lower chakras of try and try and try and fail and fail and fail and not enough, not enough, not enough. Oof. There we go. And there's a little bit of shame attached to this, you know. Shame is built into our culture that says you must be something in order to be successful. And if you're not, shame. And that is not true. That's a concept that is built into a competitive society. It says you need to be something. And inner work is a deconstructive process where we look at those beliefs and say, well, that's just not true. But because we believe them, it's locked us into an identity, a positionality that says, oh, if we don't get that, then this creates its own suffering. And underneath those identities and positions and conditioned consciousness that has its roots in your genetics, has its roots in your incarnational package, which is your past life history coming into play, divine blueprints that intercede and weave them all together, and this collective consciousness we call humanity, that we're all seeped in, that affects us through our environment, our interactions, our experiences, formulating our beliefs, affecting our thoughts. And when we work with a team of divine, this Betty here who's facilitating doesn't have to know anything. In fact, I know absolutely nothing. I am just a conduit. And I'm in there with you, holding your hand. You're holding mine. Thank you. Okay, just a little bit more. There we go. Putting in some revitalizing structures now. For some of you, this pattern was exhausting and you may not have even known it. You know, it's like this tape recorder was playing way in the background that was constantly having, playing the tape of dissatisfaction way in the background. There we go. So why on summer solstice aren't we just doing this big celebration thing and honoring the sun and honoring the earth? Because we can, and there's plenty of other places that you can do that. Here we say, in order to be fully present with those kinds of experiences, we have to look at what keeps us from being present. So this is dimensional work that supports the transformational process so that you can not just have experience of that, little islands of it, you can be it, you can live it, you can embody it. And so it's pointing to dissatisfaction as an issue, something again that you've bumped into and over again and you just couldn't resolve. So that you can feel more of the sunlight in your system when we clear it and start to live that sunlight in your life. And there's plenty of other places. Celebrate the summer solstice through ritual, through different celebrations and honoring of those celebrations. They're wonderful. This says, in order for us to celebrate and be more present within the experience of this thing called life, we have to look what keeps us from being present. There we go. There we go. Okay. So now dropping into this phase called letting go. Here we're going to start doing the work. Yeah, this piece of dissatisfaction has a little bit of anger interwoven into it. It's just there we go. Or frustration. Frustration may be a better word. So the first thing I'm going to clear is just conditioned consciousness that's ready to go. You're going to hear me breathing for a little bit. It's a Shakti breath. Beautiful. So all the previous phases that we did kind of like brought things into the surface. I'm going to put in some truth structures now, and these truth structures will help to bring clarity as to exactly how and why this pattern is impacting you, influencing what it means to you. There we go. Again, your awareness is your superpower. It's the things that are hidden that can trip us up and cause our suffering, that are really the inner frustrations for us. And here we have so much help. Once we have our awareness into something, that awareness then, it's so much support. Okay, so now I'm going to clear what's called the collective unconscious timeline. This is looking at your karmic history, at your genetic history, at the collective conditioning and any frameworks and supports that you may not be aware of. So again, you're going to hear me breathing for a little bit. And it's pointing out again a piece of dissatisfaction that keeps tripping you up. And there's part 2 to this. There we go. That created a lot of space. Think of like this dissatisfaction as a whole bunch of weeds that you didn't even know were there. Just taking a moment to let that settle. And now transforming something called the collective conscious conditioning. This is more or less the things that you are aware of, how you identify with dissatisfaction in your life, any karmic structures, any blueprints, any way it's held in your chakras or energy bodies. Again, you can hear me breathing for a little bit. It's pointing at the kidneys, so we're just going to take a couple of minutes, clear and energize the kidneys, making sure the energy flows all the way into the cells. And bring something in called compressed chi. All varieties, but especially kidney chi. Clearing any chi converters. Well, think of those like interfaces. You may have energy coming in, but if the interfaces like gateways are a little blocked or stuck, energy isn't going to get in. Beautiful. And now winding down, dropping into integration, integrating in all space, all time, all realities, all dimensions, all realms, all fields, interdimensionally, catching up and physicalizing. First thing I'm going to do is, talked about identities a little bit earlier. Those identities are asleep in this place called I am dissatisfied because dot dot dot. And your mind will tell yourself a story. So we're going to wake those identities up. Anything related to this hidden dissatisfaction. one of those identities was literally stuck in that is just the way it is. Like doesn't see, so unconscious, such an unconscious belief. It just says, well, that's just the way it is. People suck. The world's bad. I'm bad, or I'm not lovable, or whatever. It's just it was just stuck in this pattern of not helplessness, but stagnation. Like that's just the way it is. And we're going to integrate the brain and nervous system, manifesting to repattern the brain and nervous system for integration. And integration is just as important as every other phase, because when you're working dimensionally and you understand that you're interconnected to everyone and everything, if we change any element of that, everything else needs to get that message too. And integration can be gradual. For people who are regular members of the groups, I've created a separate advanced integration that just points at different aspects of your energy system and says, catch up, which people find really, really important and effective, especially when we're working dimensionally. But integration can happen in time as your body just gently settles into the change, and you all know what that feels like. It can be a little frustrating or discombobulating for a little bit as things settle in. So we're just giving a little help. Remanifesting the brain and nervous system to repattern for integration. And integration can just feel like puzzle pieces coming back together. Remanifesting the chakras, repattern for integration. And now the energetic bodies. integrating the organs, especially the kidneys. Catching up the life field. Don't worry if you don't know what these are. Your energy system does. And now the rest of the overall system and all of consciousness. Everything is consciousness, and you are consciousness. And so the way you are interface and intersect with the world and everything in it is consciousness. Consciousness body, luminous egg. It's all sorts of subtle, ethereal ways that your energy system expresses itself. So we're catching it all up, integrating, remanifesting it to repattern for integration, asking it to just remember that we just made these shifts, that this dissatisfaction pattern doesn't have quite the hold that it had before. Especially if you didn't even know it was there, or if you knew it was there and you didn't think you could do anything about it. Isn't that the human condition, right? Now clearing the astral of this pattern. The astral really just reflects back patterns of who you're expressing yourself to be. So we want to clear the astral of this dissatisfaction pattern. Just takes a minute. And running some Debbie therapy, which is like an ask, an intention for clarity, for insight. And it's something that may drop into your awareness immediately, or maybe something you just that appears in the next couple of days or couple of weeks where you may not even equate it to what we just did here today. Debbie therapy is like having a dimensional therapist. You didn't even know you needed. And now in the final phase, I'm going to come into this place I call the Truth Tower. And this is you with your feet in the center of the earth, and your crown in the center of the galaxy, and the spine merged with all your timelines. We're going to bring in new blueprints, manifesting new blueprints for the you that has already cleared this pattern. And again, this pattern could be huge within you. It could be something very subtle. It just needs shifting over time. So there's a you that's already accomplished that and gained all the wisdom and transformed every single pattern related to it, because dissatisfaction isn't just one thing. It's connected to other things, maybe hurt or woundedness or shame or guilt or, that confusion or anger that came up. So we're going to bring in the you that's already done that. It's like an overlay. And it's just like an embodied wisdom. So when you work through something, say you have a partner or a parent or a brother or sister, and you work through something, you have a great talk, and you just realization hits you, and you gain wisdom because you work through it. Maybe it takes you weeks or months or years, or you reflect back and you see all these different patterns in your life, and they just light up, and oh, that makes all sense. That's wisdom. So working through this pattern, you gain wisdom that you've embodied, and you start to live. So we're manifesting new blueprints for embodied wisdom. What a great gift on this summer solstice night. The earth helping you attune to this embodied wisdom and align with it now as we bring in alchemy codes, like little seeds, like little sparks of light, to drop this embodied wisdom wherever it's most needed. Because there's other places in you that are still hidden. You'll be on your deathbed and these insights will pop through and you go, I didn't know that. That's a process of inner exploration. We're our own pioneers. It's really exciting. It's really fascinating. It can be frustrating, but it's always something new. So we're aligning with this embodied wisdom. Infused by pure grace. And we're sending it out to the earth like radar. And we call this harmonic resonance. It's morphogenetic fields of information that just permeate into the ethers, up into the sky, down into the soil, bubbling up into springs, rivers, into the oceans, into the mountains, trees, forests, all plants, all animals, all birds, insects, marine life, all human life, especially on the summer solstice day, seeking out anyone who has hit that wall of dissatisfaction and dropping seeds of this embodied wisdom. Help them too find their way from darkness to light. And as we continue to deepen this alignment with embodied wisdom, I want to read this prayer. They celebrate the summer solstice. Celebrating and honoring the sun high above us, shining down upon the land and the sea, everything on it, making things grow and bloom. Oh, great, powerful sun. We honor you this day. Thank you for your gifts. You have so many names: Ra, Helios, Sol, Invictus, Aten, Svarog, Father, Son. You are known by these many names. You are the light over the crops that heat and warm the earth. Bring hope that springs eternal. You are the bringer of life. You are the essence of this life force. We welcome you. We honor you this day. We celebrate your light by allowing it to come into our journey. Once more into the darkness. Once more into the light. Coming back to the earth breath. See how it's shifted and changed. Don't necessarily have to breathe down into the earth anymore. Just breathe into the earth as you, and allowing the breath to breathe you. There's more sunlight in there now. Clear this pieces of this dissatisfaction. Bring in embodied wisdom for you to light the way with more truth, more empowerment, more vitality. Mother Earth coming back in with a gift of attunement. That block that we ran into in the very beginning, this attunes you and aligns to the wisdom you need to navigate through. Angel Jophiel, who I work with, the angel of illumination, the angel of creativity, adding our sparks of wisdom as well. Om Shanti Shanti. Ending with a Sanskrit mantra, which is a prayer, asking to be led from untruth to truth, from darkness to light, from death to immortality, perfect for the summer solstice day. Let there be peace and freedom on earth, and may we be conduits of that peace and freedom. Om Asatoma Sakamaya Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya Yudyormam Tramgamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Shri Guryo Namaha. Hari Om. May the light shine down upon you and bring you peace. Let there be peace, 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 peace within your heart, peace on earth, reflecting peace within and without. Taking a deep breath, lifting you out of this space of gathered grace. Bowing my head in gratitude, filling you up with so much love to amplify all the work that we did here today. It is done. It is complete. So it is, so it is, so it is. You may want to stay in this space of flowing grace. To let this embodied wisdom deepen, take as long as you feel guided. Until next time, be blessed.